All right, hey everybody, it's Mrs. Berg. So today we're going to do a tutorial on how to create a Google site. I'm just going to show you kind of the basic process of how you get started and then show you a few cool things that you can do with it. So if you've never used it before, hopefully after this tutorial, you'll be a little more comfortable to navigate it. So when you're on Google, you're going to want to navigate to either your Google Drive or you can go directly to sites. I always like navigating to my Google Drive because that way it gives me a little more freedom as to where exactly I have my Google site that I've made. So obviously I have my stuff organized in a lot of different folders, which is why I like to just start by making it in Drive. So if you are in your Drive, just click on whatever folder you want it in. So I'll just put it in my OG folder for now. You'll hit this new button and then you are going to go to more and then Google Sites. As soon as you click that button, it'll create a new one for you. And the Google Sites look a little something like this. So when it opens, basically this is the very basic template that you can use for your Google site, but there's a lot of ways that Google makes it really easy for you to customize your site. So I'm going to start by looking over here. I'm going to move myself. So we're going to look over here at this toolbar because this is really where you're going to kind of edit your site. All of these things are ways that you can add different elements to your website, change the look of it, and stuff like that. So I want to start by just talking about visually how it looks. So if you want to change the look of your site, you're going to go to themes, and there's all these different themes that they already have pre-made for you, but you can always customize your own if you're really good with technology and graphics and stuff, and then you can upload your own kind of customized site. So every time you click on any of these pre-made templates, I think I'm going to use this one, you'll see that there's different colors that you can use. You can also choose a different font style. So I'm going to keep it classic, and if you click this little pale dropper here, then you can actually customize the exact color that you want your site color to be. So I'm going to just go with like a really nice, I don't know, like blue color. I think that looks good. Okay, so I'll have that be kind of my main color. So once you've kind of customized the theme, then you're obviously going to need to start adding content to your site. So if you go to the Insert tab, okay, this is where you can insert different elements. So you can give any page a name, and we're going to talk about how you can create different pages here in just a second. So I don't know, let's say that I'm going to make a website about the newest book that I read. Okay, so maybe, what was the book that I just read? Oh, it's called Stamped. Brain fart. Okay, so maybe I'll make it about the book Stamped, and anytime we have book titles, we're going to italicize it. Okay, so maybe I'm just going to like do this for a book report project or something like that. So I'll call it Stamped, and you always want to give your site a name. You can enter it here, you can enter it up here. So maybe I'll just say N. Berg's book report, something like that. Okay, so then that'll put that on the top of your website. Okay, so maybe some of the requirements for my website is that I have to include like a summary of the novel. So over here, there are these pre-made kind of content blocks that if you click it, it'll automatically kind of insert these two elements for you. So you can see it'll insert an image on the left and then a space for text on the right. You can also add individual elements by using these buttons up here. So if you just want a text box that kind of fills the whole screen and you can manipulate it from there, you hit text box, images. What I like is you can actually upload any items from your Google Drive. So if you go and you like type, a book report on a Google Doc or something like that, you can choose the Google Doc and add it to your website from your Drive. I will just caution you that this does get a little dicey with sharing permissions. So you just want to make sure that anything that you add from your Drive, the sharing permissions are available to the public, that they're not just limited to a certain group of people. So you would want to double check that. Or you can embed other links to other websites. So maybe I find a website for this book and I want to embed the link. I can do that right on my page. If you scroll down even further, you've got all of these other elements that you can add. And I'm not going to go through all of these. A lot of them are pretty self-explanatory. A couple that I do like though are this divider. So if you do have a couple elements, like let's say I insert a text box, I write a summary of the book here, okay, and maybe it'll go on for a little bit. And then maybe, like I did add an image. So maybe I wanted to select an image that I felt represented the book. So maybe I'll do something like, I don't know, um, Google image search. Here we go, social justice, because the book was all about like social justice and whatnot. So maybe I don't know, do that one. Okay. And then I answered that. So once you start getting a couple of elements on the page, you can manipulate them by dragging them, making them as big as you want, moving them around so that you can center it. put it to one side. Same with this. If I wanted this to be small, I could do that, and then I could maybe make this smaller and add it to the side of the text like that. Okay, so there's lots of ways that you can play with this. And then the divider, like I was talking about, if you insert the divider, it's literally just a line. Okay, so it's just a way to separate kind of elements on a page. Another one that I really like is the button. The button you can insert to help you navigate to like different pages, or if you want to, link a different website to your page, then you can do that. So maybe I want to link like the library website to my page so that people can go and search to see if the book is available. So maybe I'll say library website. Okay, and then I'll just have to go grab that link, and I have it linked right here. So I can just copy that link, go back, paste it, and then it'll insert a button that does give direct access to that library website, which is pretty cool. And again, I can kind of move that and manipulate that however I'd like to. You can, change how it looks if you just want the outline, or if you want it filled, if you just want the text, all sorts of really cool stuff. And then you can edit it if you mess it up. So that's kind of cool. It does stick with whatever the theme is and the color is that you set for your theme. All right, so those are all of the different elements that you can insert on a web page. But when you go to any given website, like for instance, since I'm on the library one, I can just show you, usually there's a menu kind of at the top here. So you can go to all of these different pages is what they're called. So you guys can actually add different pages to your website as well by going to the pages icon on Google Sites. So the way that you do this, Google Sites, when you create it, it automatically creates you the one page and the titles at home. You can always retitle this page, and you can add more pages by clicking this little plus button on the bottom. Now you can just add a new page by just clicking the bottom one. It says new page. If you want to insert a link to another website as a page, you can do that. You can insert a full page from another website. So if you have a full page that you want inserted from like Encyclopedia Britannica or something like that, you do it that way. And then you can set a different menu section, so you can like kind of, choose what you want the menu to be. Okay, I don't want to do that though. So I'm just going to add a new page. You can title it. So maybe, so I did a summary on this first page. Maybe I need like an author bio or something like that. Add an author bio. Okay, so then it created a new page, and you'll see that it starts to create this menu along the top here. If you want to rename a page, like I don't really want the first one to be called home, I want it to be called summary, you can just click the three little dots that appear beside it, hit properties, and then that will allow you to rename it. So I'll rename it like summary or something like that. Okay, and you can add as many pages as you want. The other cool thing is you can make sub pages. So like I can make this page a sub page of the summary if I wanted to. I think I go, let's see, add sub page. Okay, I know there's a way to make this a sub page. Maybe properties? No. Okay, maybe you have to do it when you create it. I know there's a way. I just can't figure it out right now. Okay. Anyways, so when you add a subpage, you can add it as a subpage too. And you can always delete them as well. Okay, so once you've got those basics down, you can really just kind of play around, make it your own. You can change like the images in your headers as well. You can change the type of header. So if I wanted a different image, like I could select a different image, and then that would be my header. You could have a different image for every page, all sorts of cool stuff. So you guys can really kind of manipulate this and play around with this. The other cool thing about this is it does automatically save. You can preview what it'll look like on different devices by hitting this preview button. You can add collaborators. So if you're working on a website with friends, you can just share it with your friends and add collaboration that way. And then finally, the thing that you guys have to know is before your website's going to be visible to the public, you need to hit this publish button. Unless you hit this publish button, nobody will be able to see your website. So always just make sure you hit the publish button. I'm not going to hit it because I don't really want the world to be able to see my website. Okay, but just kind of keep that in mind. And that's the very basics of working with Google Sites. So if you guys have any questions on any of that, just make sure you reach out to me and I'd be happy to help.